welcome back. We've been spending all our time recently working on the prediction model, trying to tighten up those numbers to spit out more accurate predictions. With that, we're going to burn through this week's fights quickly and get on back to business. First up, we have Bolaji Oki versus Chris Duncan at lightweight. Both of these fighters come from the Contender Series. This is Oki's first fight in the UFC. His last was a TKO victory on the Contender Series. He only has one loss in his career, and that was a decision in his very first pro fight. Duncan was on the Contender Series back in October of 2021, but he lost to Borshev by knockout. Oki is the favorite at the books at minus 190, with a comeback of plus 165 on Duncan. The model has this extremely close. We ran it multiple times just to check it out, and we are almost a coin flip every time we run it. Next up, we have Nora Cornolle versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti at bantamweight. This is their second meeting. In the first fight, it was actually Cornelle's first fight in her professional debut. She lost to Cavalcanti. Now she's on an 8-fight win streak. Cavalcanti is also looking good lately with a 5-fight win streak, but she is on a quick turnaround, having fought only 4 weeks ago. The book odds show Cavalcanti as a strong favorite to repeat the first performance, while the model is very, very close, but gives the slight edge to Cornolle. Moving on to flyweight, we have Daniel Barez versus Victor Altamirano. Both of these guys are experienced. Barez is 16-6, while Victor is 12-4. Barez finishes most of his opponents, but he was just subbed in his last fight against Jafel Filo. They could be trying to give him a boost by matching him up with Altamirano for a potential Spain card next year. Altamirano is on a 2-fight losing streak, and a loss here could mean no re-signing. He mostly fights to decisions, but he did get a Performance of the Night bonus for his TKO victory over Daniel Lacerda. The books don't know which way to go on this. They do have Altamirano as a slight favorite at minus 123. The model odds are more sure having him as a minus 135 favorite. We always bet with the model, but this one is an easy play. At women's bantamweight, we have Ailin Perez versus Darya Zheleznyakova. Perez is 10-2. She does have 2 losses. Our graph is showing 1, but the other loss is a DQ. That is a glitch in the system that we'll work on. Zheleznyakova is 9-1. She also has a big edge in height and reach. She's 4 inches taller and 2 inches longer in the arms. Perez, on the other hand, is the Peter Yan of women's bantamweight. 3 years ago, she lost her belt due to illegal knees. She was choked out in her first UFC bout, but has gone on a 3-fight win streak since. Zheleznyakova is coming into her second UFC fight with only a single loss on her record. Good finishing rate, TKOs in more than half of her wins. The books massively prefer Perez at minus 230, but our model with the height, the reach, and the finishing prowess of Zheleznyakova gives her the opposite advantage at minus 205. We're putting our money on Darya. Back at bantamweight, we have Taylor Lapilus versus Vince Morales. This is Lapilus' third fight this year. He's coming off a win over Cody Stamann. Win or lose, he's only been 2 decisions since entering the UFC this time around. His first stint in the UFC, he was 3-1 with nothing but decision victories, and with another victory this weekend, he'll probably get cut again because he'll be 3-1 with 3 decisions. Morales went 3-5 in his last stint in the UFC. He bounced around different organizations and managed to put together a 5-win streak, including 3 subs and 1 TKO. Now we can see what he's going to do with his second chance in the UFC. The books don't like his second chance. They didn't like his first run, and they've given Lapilus a major edge at minus 360. The model, not quite as confident, but still giving Lapilus the edge as a minus 132 favorite. Up at lightweight, we have Ludovit Klein versus Roosevelt Roberts. Klein started rough in the UFC, losing 2 of his first 3 fights, but has gone unbeaten in his last 6. This is Roberts' second chance at the UFC, but he's not looking good so far. In his first fight after TUF, he missed weight and lost to Rumbecki. If he can't get through Klein, I'm sure Eagle FC will take him back. The book feels the same and puts Klein as a minus 900 favorite. Without getting an eye poke finish, Roberts is destined to lose this fight. Thankfully, the model agrees, not as much, but gives Klein a strong favorite at minus 170. Starting off the light heavyweight bouts, we have Oumar C versus Da-Woon Jung. First off, I did not know they made Koreans this size. Jung started off his UFC career with a 4-fight win streak and very well could be ending it on a 4-fight losing streak. C is on his second fight in the UFC. He is a very strong fighter, shown by his mix of KO and rear naked choke finishes. Both of these guys are strong finishers, so with any luck, we could see Oumar's chin tested to see how he holds up. The book odds don't see that happening, with a minus 500 for Oumar C. The comeback on Jung is plus 375. The model, while not quite as strong, is still extremely strong for our model as a minus 239 for C. The next light heavyweight bout is Ian Cutelaba versus Ivan Erslan. Cutelaba is the Sam Alvey of the light heavyweight division. He loses more than he wins, but his fights are usually exciting. Erslan has only been to one decision since 2018. Neither one of these guys seem like they'll ever get anywhere near the top 10, so this seems like a fight just made for the fans. The book odds have this as a coin flip, but the model is stronger, giving Erslan the edge at a minus 123. Back at lightweight, we have Perez Ziam versus Matt Frevola. Ziam, not much to say. He is the decisionator 2.0. Frevola, on the other hand, is in a kill or be killed run. He's 3-2 in his last 5, and all 5 have ended in TKO. Hopefully, he can keep Ziam interesting. The book has this as a reasonably close fight, minus 130 for Ziam as the favorite, plus 110 for Frevola as the underdog. The model is much stronger with a minus 161 for Ziam. While I'd like to bet Frevola on a great TKO, maybe Ziam can get the first finish of his UFC career. Down at featherweight, we have Morgan Charriere versus Gabriel Miranda. Charriere is 1-1 in the UFC, but both of those fights have earned him performance bonuses. Looking at the graphs, it looks like this very well might be a striker versus grappler match. Charriere has 11 KO TKO wins. Miranda, on the other hand, has 16 submission wins. He won his last fight, but has since been away for more than a year. He is also 1-1 in the UFC. While neither earned him a bonus, they also didn't go the distance. He was TKO'd by Saint-Denis and then got a quick sub in his next fight. Unfortunately, coming in to the featherweight division at 34 years of age doesn't seem too promising. The book agrees with that, at least partially, giving Charriere a huge advantage as the minus 700 favorite. The model, while close, still leans favorably towards Charriere. For our only welterweight bout of the night, we have Kevin Jousset versus Bryan Battle. These guys have identical records at 10-2. Jousset is on a 5-fight win streak and has gone 2-0 in the UFC. Battle, on the other hand, is 3-1 with 1 no contest. The good news is he has finished 4 of his last 5 UFC wins. In his last fight, he even tried to finish the fight via eye poke. The bookies seem to think he'll be able to keep his fingers to himself in this fight and have given him the edge as a minus 177 favorite. The model agrees slightly, giving him the edge as a minus 117. Back at featherweight, we have William Gomis versus Joanderson Brito. Gomis is on an 11-fight win streak. Interesting enough, 40% of his bookings have been canceled due to either him or his opponent pulling out. He's had 3 cancellations since his last fight. Brito is on a 5-fight win streak, including 2 performance bonuses, one for a TKO and another for a submission. All 5 of his wins in the current streak have been finishes. Prior to his loss in the UFC debut, he was also on a 12-fight unbeaten streak. The book has Brito as a moderate favorite as minus 280, and the model odds showing it close but leaning towards Brito, so we will be following the book and betting the favorite this time around. In the co-main event at middleweight, we have Nasruddin Imavov versus Brendan Allen. Imavov is making his title run. He is fighting down the rankings, but a win here combined with his impressive win over Cannonier, he should be on the short list for a number 1 contender fight at least. Interesting to note in this fight with Brendan Allen, he does have a single submission loss all the way back in 2016 in his first pro fight. Allen is on a 7-fight win streak and is looking to jump into the top 5. He is in more or less the same situation. A win here will put him in sight of a title shot. The bookies don't see that happening and want Imavov to get his shot at the champion. They put him as a minus 220 favorite with a comeback of plus 185 on Brendan Allen. The model, on the other hand, sees this as a closer fight, but gives the edge to Brendan Allen, so we are taking the underdog in this one. Finally, in the main event, we have Renato Money Moicano versus Benoit Saint-Denis at lightweight. Money needs to get this fight to the ground. Saint-Denis' IQ is above 85, so he probably won't try to walk off if he knocks him down. Saint-Denis has gotten performance bonuses in 4 of his last fights. He will definitely be looking for an emphatic KO to bounce back from the Poirier loss. The bookies moderately favor Benoit in this fight, and so does the model. We are big fans of Money Moicano here and would love to throw our money behind him, but we do what the model says. Here we go. Benoit, get one for France. Taking a look at the stats for this card, we have 14 total wagers, 10 favorite bets, and 4 on underdogs. Our risk is 40.25 units for a potential win of 56.82. That gives us a potential gain of 16.57 units or 41%. We have been down the last couple of weeks, so we are looking for a good bounce back this week. Thank you guys for watching. You can join us next week for the recap of all these bets. And don't forget, later this week, we'll have PFL Europe, all the bets. Join us here, and we'll show you where to make your plays.